The Islanders are on a 5-game heater, and they open up a 4-game road trip tonight on the West Coast, Anaheim actually. So let's talk all things Islanders with our Isles beat writer for the Post, Ethan Sears. Ethan, my man, what's going on? You're the beat writer for the best hockey team in New York City right now, man. How does that feel?
Thanks so much, Brandon, for having me. And it's been fun. It's been a fun season to cover.
All right, man, 5 in a row. They're tied for second in the Met. When you look at this Islanders team, how it's constructed, the coach, just anything and everything about them, can they be looked at as contenders out of the East, or is it just too soon?
Yeah, Brandon, I think it's probably a little premature to say that they could go, make a Stanley Cup final, but let's see what they do at the deadline. That's 2 days from now. Matthew Darsh has said that he could look to move a first round pick. There's rumors right now around Connor Garland in Vancouver, around Robert Thomas in St. Louis. Guys like that maybe could change the equation a little bit. And look, they have good enough goaltending that they could stay in the series against anyone, even if maybe some of their depth or their skaters or whatever are maybe not to the level of some of these other teams. Ilya Sorokin can keep them in games. So I would say wait and see on that, but it's going to be interesting to see how this team looks on Saturday morning and kind of going from there.
All right, so I mentioned the 5 wins in a row. A lot of that I feel like is because the youngster, Matthew Schaefer, he has been an absolute dog on the ice. And I think he's brought the Owls out of the ice age and into modern hockey. You've covered this team for a while now. Do you think he's having a bigger impact for the franchise on or off the ice in his first season with the big boys?
Well, it's on the ice, but the on ice feeds into the off ice, if that makes sense. I
Yeah.
mean, no one has ever really had a rookie season like this as a defenseman. He's got 20 goals. The all-time record for a rookie defenseman, I believe, is 23. He's unless he gets hurt, he's almost certainly going to break that. There's 20 games left in the season. He's 18 years old. He's already broken the record for an 18-year-old defenseman scoring. He's playing 23, 24 minutes a night against the other team's top line. Um, and he's doing it really, really well. His character, his attitude in the room is just it's as good as you can imagine, really. And when you look at the off ice, I mean, the Islanders are seeing the results of that in terms of marketing, jersey sales. I mean, you can't walk 3 feet at UBS without seeing a 48 jersey. I think they actually had to scramble to get more fours and eights around Christmas because they were running out. So certainly they're seeing like that impact from how good he is, but it all starts with, it doesn't happen without his play on the ice that obviously, as you said, is feeding heavily into how good this team has been.
Well, what's this kid's ceiling for his career? Like, how far can he take this thing in terms of, you think he could be, one day he could be the face of the league?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I mean, I think you're already seeing that a little bit with the way the league is putting him out there. The way, I mean, he's got an endorsement deal with Tom Brady's company. And again, he's 18 years old. I mean, you don't want to get over your skis in terms of, you never know what could happen in terms of injuries or whatever. But like, if he plays like this and stays on this trajectory, I mean, he could be in the league for 20 years. His number could be retired. He could be a Hall of Fame. Like whatever you want to say, whatever superlative, like it's all in play right now. Because yeah, I mean, he's just been that good. And again, I don't want to, I don't want to say this and then have him, go break his leg tonight. And suddenly you're having a different conversation. But um, based on what he's done so far, I mean, yeah, you could take things pretty far in terms of the sort of trajectory he's on.
That's a lot of praise for the rookie, and I mean, it's been phenomenal watching this kid kind of come onto the scene and just breathe a new life and energy into that franchise. That's the rookie, but you've got a really cool article out on the vet, Matt Barzal's growth and maturity. So how do you feel like his growth has impacted not only his personal performance, but also the Owls' turnaround this season?
Yeah, I mean, look, last year Matt Barzal was hurt. He in the games he played, which wasn't many, he kind of seemed to be trying to find his game a little bit. And this year, like the example he gave me yesterday, which I thought was interesting, was early in games, if it's a night, and there's a lot of nights like this, right, in an 82 game season where there's not much ice out there, the game is kind of slow, there's not much offense going on. Early in his career, he maybe would have let that affect him a bit, kind of throw him off for the rest of the night. And now he's obviously, he's been in the league a long time. He's played almost 600 games. He can take a breath, realize that this is what the night is giving him. There might only be one or two really good scoring chances, and work toward finding that. And you're seeing him, and it's pretty quiet because a lot of the noise around this team is around Matthew Schaefer. Like he's having maybe the best year of his career. He's got 55 points in 60 games. The last 10 or so games, he's got, I think, 14 points. He's played wing, he's played center. He's clicked with his line mates kind of regardless of what the combination has been, which has throughout his career has been sort of a recurring issue. Um, and he's been a better two-way player with a couple of notable exceptions that the Islanders have been pretty quick to hold him to account about. But for the most part, he's back checked pretty hard. He's been responsible defensively. Um, so I mean, I think all of that goes into it. And yeah, I mean, it's having a huge impact on them. When your best player is putting in 20 plus good minutes a night, or your best offensive player, I should say, um, of course that makes a huge difference.
Big game tonight against the Ducks. They're trying to make it 6 in a row. So before I let you go, can you give us the updates on the statuses of Jonathan Drouin and Ryan Pulock? You reported that Drouin practiced Tuesday, but Pulock didn't. So who suits up? Who plays tonight against the Duck? And if either doesn't, how is that going to affect what Patty Waugh does for the game plan and for the lines?
Yeah, so we'll see in a few hours here. The Islanders will have their morning skate, and we'll see whether they're on the ice, whether they're in or out when we get over to the Honda Center there. In terms of what the lineup would be, just based on how they practiced yesterday, we would see Scott Mayfield go up with Schaefer in that spot that Ryan Pulock usually plays. Adam Boqvist would come into the lineup, be on the third pair with Carson Soucy, and then in terms of the forwards, I think we would probably just see the same thing we saw on Sunday night when Jonathan Drouin was out, which is Anthony Duclair coming in, being on the second line in Drouin's usual spot with Cal Ritchie and Emil Heineman. Yeah, we'll see there how that shakes out in a few hours here. They're going to be on the ice at 2:30 Eastern for their morning skate.
All right, Ethan, enjoy the game tonight and that California weather, man. Appreciate you hopping on with this.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks for having me.